As the trial for Jonathan Knight, one of the men accused in the shooting death of 5-year-old Calif Guyton, continues, prosecutor Eric Smith argued that the car driven that night belonged to Jessica Johnson and was driven by Jeremy King, the other man accused in this case. On Tuesday, Johnson testified to her relationship with King and how he came to be behind the wheel the night of the shooting on February 23, 2017.
To the left, that's Jessica Johnson's vehicle. To the right, that's the suspect vehicle.
The suspect vehicle involved in the car-to-car shooting that killed toddler Calif Guyton, caught on video just moments before the shooting.
This is the victim vehicle approaching the turn at California. Immediately behind it, suspect vehicle, 16 shots.
As detectives narrowed down their investigation into the vehicle, a Chrysler 200, a patrol officer would be the one to stop that exact same car only 2 days after the shooting.
On February 25th, just a few days after the shooting, they pulled this vehicle over, Chrysler 200. The driver of that car is a Jessica Johnson.
While the vehicle belonged to Johnson, she said she wasn't the one driving it that night. Instead, it was Jeremy King, a man she had previously dated and was in contact with.
And he took her Chrysler 200 and returned it about 2 hours later.
On Tuesday, Johnson testified that the evening of the shooting, King asked to meet her to borrow money for his car insurance payment. She said after they met at a fast strip on Gosford and White Lane, he asked to follow her home and borrow her car. Johnson testifying that this was a usual exchange for them.
That night of the incident, they know Jeremy King had borrowed that same vehicle, the Chrysler 200, and evidence will show the investigation was unfolding.
Johnson said since she often allowed King to drive her car, she didn't ask why or what he was using it for. The prosecution alleging that King took the vehicle, picked up Jonathan Knight, and Knight fired out of that vehicle at the car carrying Guyton.
It's Mr. King's car. It's Mr. King's gun. It's Mr. King's beef.
During cross-examination, defense attorney Tim Hennessy asking Johnson about the decision to have her car washed and detailed shortly after King drove it, while Johnson answered it was typical for her to have her vehicle washed and detailed regularly, when Hennessy pointed to a police report in which officers reported Johnson claiming to have her car detailed once every 2 months. Johnson responded, quote, "I don't recall saying that." And the trial is set to resume Wednesday at 9 a.m. In Bakersfield, I'm Veronica Morley, your senior reporter.